That's alright, Mama. That's alright with you. That's alright, Mama. And just any way you do. That's alright. That's alright. That's alright now, Mama. Any way you do. Come on, man. Can you feel the pain? Into him now. About this new world. Ain't no train. Papa's got a brand new eye. Purple haze in my brain. Lately things just don't seem the same. Acting funny and I don't know why. Excuse me while I kiss the sky.
Welcome, everybody, to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Good to have everybody here. We are back on TikTok, and hopefully that lasts. We got nailed last time, so what we might have to do is just watch our P's and Q's. So, Olivia, maybe you can help me with that.
Yes.
And ensure when we're talking about pronouns or anyone who is involved with pronouns that we're very careful what we say. And then we also can't talk about the Ovid K Ock down lay.
I think I got it.
Okay, so we can't talk about those two things, and otherwise we should be fine. Let's see how it goes. I hope it's okay. Let me know how we're doing on TikTok. I'm really interested for you to watch TikTok tonight, so make that a primary window, and since we don't have Wimkin up anymore, we'll be good. Also, if you guys could share, we would also appreciate it across all social media, Twitter, Verse, everywhere else, please. We're going to have a good show tonight. We got a lot to talk about, a whole bunch to talk about, and we can't wait to share it with you. Please do me a favor and share it with everyone else. All the Documents of Freedom boxes went out along with the We Are Charlie shirts, and just FYI, a lot of people asked us for the Freedom shirts. I've got those up in pretty much all versions except for a few colors of the hoodies, but everything else is actually up and ready for you to participate in. If you have not seen the shirts, I will get that flashing up real quick in just a second, and you'll be able to go ahead and take a look at that design. I'll have it up on the rebound, but let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Can't wait to see you. I'll flash it up on the screen real quick.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, still unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want. Damn, so what's your name? I won't tell no lies. Back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be
Hey, Matt, congratulations on your success, brother. And I really appreciate you giving, both sides, and just free speech the opportunity to have a platform, dude.
Got it. You got it. Thanks for everything you've done for this country, Eli. We'll talk next time. Tell Jen hello, and I'll have this ready in a couple of hours, and you can share it and take a look. Thank you, man.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Bye-bye.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
So I have a question for you, dear.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up?
I never go on TikTok. I've never been on it except for the show. How do you like the show? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know anything about TikTok. I'm just learning. Like we just created, we had no idea the TikTok account. It was sitting at like, I don't know, 10 followers. And then we started posting and it just, things started going well. So and we're ready to hit 1,000. It's very slow, but
you can tell me because I can send a coin, but you have to pay for that. So
yeah,
I don't know how to do it.
I don't know, but if anyone figures it out, just go ahead and hit a like. Welcome. We're going to do our best to keep it. I did make the show 18 and older, and I guarantee some of the language was probably why. So until I learn to censor my tongue, so to speak, because I'll tell you what, I'm working on it. Trust me, I really am trying. I'm trying to not be as vulgar as I can be. And I know that turns people off and, people like be yourself. Well, you know what? You should always be the best version of yourself, even if you're not there. So it's all about working on it, but it's good to have everybody here. Thanks everybody for doing that. Please go and like, share, subscribe. I had a chance to show you guys the shirt. It flashed up. If you have not had a chance to see it, a lot of people, were like the We Are Charlie shirt. And I think we're finalizing donations. That'll be tomorrow. And then we should have the total of how much we're going to donate to TPUSA. I don't know the total yet, but it's going to be good, and we're excited to do it. These shirts will not. This is a pretty standard design, and I know that TPUSA is having a problem keeping them in stock. So I just kind of put my own spin on it and changed the font up a little bit and put his autograph on, and it just says Freedom, Charlie Kirk, and then with his autograph, and that comes in hoodies and everything else. These proceeds will just not be going to TPUSA. The We Are Charlie ones I felt were the ones that we should do that with, and we will continue to do that up until tomorrow. So if you guys want to go pick that up, you can, and we'll also try to have that on hats and stuff too. I got to get the rest expanded. Thanks, Jeff. We're working on it, buddy. We appreciate you, and we always appreciate your donations and you helping us out. It means the world. So there's a lot going on. Like right now, how about we talk about this? And if you haven't had a chance, like I said, please follow, share, and subscribe. And TikTok, we're hoping that we can stay on. So if we get kicked, you can find us on Rumble and Facebook and X. But I think we care about TikTok. We want to try to keep it going. So we're going to do our best. But anyway, Liv,
Yes.
Did you reset goal?
I did.
All right, goal is reset officially. We start.
I think you just need to refresh, maybe.
Nope. Trying again.
Let me try.
Yeah. So we're resetting goal right now, so that number is not true, and we're going to try to do this, and then as soon as Olivia tells us. So I've got a question.
I didn't save it or something.
It's
maybe?
Okay. There you go, babe.
Try it now.
You nailed
Okay.
it. All right. Congratulations. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it.
It's been a Monday.
It's always a Monday. It's the Don't Unfriend Me show. So here's something I wanted to ask y'all. So yesterday in church, and we have been going for I think this is 6 weeks now, and we started going right before Charlie, and so I'm listening. We're going through the book of Job, and it's a deep book, right? So it's got a lot in it. And if you ever have any questions, I just wanted to say I've been lifting again too, and I can already tell I'm so happy. So like it's just little things you can notice, and I know my squirrel is going crazy right now, but I'm sorry. But it's happy when you see the face start to just kind of chime in a little bit, and then you start seeing the swell. I'm very excited. Okay. So in church, vanity, is that a deadly sin?
It's not a deadly sin.
It's close. Is that 8? It's like number 8.
No, it's not one of the deadly sins as far as I know.
So it's what? Sloth, gluttony.
Isn't it the 7 deadly sins?
Yes, it's 7 deadly sins, right?
Yeah.
There's wrath, there's hate or sloth, envy, greed. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because it contains unoriginal or repurposed content. This is in line with the For Your Feed eligibility. No, it's not. I'm appealing it. That's a lie.
There's unoriginal content?
Appeal it. What a stupid thing. See what's happens that people see it and then they go ahead and they report it and stuff. That's what people do. So I appealed it. We'll see if it works. Anyway, so sloth, greed, envy. It's not vanity, but it's wrath,
pride, greed,
yep.
lust,
yep,
envy,
yep,
gluttony, wrath, and sloth.
Yep, wrath and sloth. Okay, so no, but it should be 8. Anyway, pride is one of the sins, and I think pride would be. Read them again, please. Let's make sure we listen. Pride. So pride is one.
Excessive self-importance, arrogance, or putting oneself above others.
So pride's a deadly sin. I was right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. See, I listened, but I was also worried about TikTok. Okay. So pride is a deadly sin. So, that's hard for me, but I think pride, as in the sense of what is that
excessive self-importance, arrogance, or putting oneself above others and even God.
Oh, I don't put myself above God, but I definitely the rest of it's true. So oof. Anyway, whatever. So listen, just let me be happy. I'm 51 years old. If I start to feel good, then let me feel good. Okay. So we're in church and we start talking about Job, and then Pastor Gill, who I'm going to meet on Wednesday, and I get to sit down with him because I've invited him onto the podcast, and I thought it would be really cool to have him on. And then I also talked with Chuck Peterson. He's coming out. And we're going to do a show, and specifically around cancers and surviving. And we thought it'd be really cool to have my pastor come out here and be a part of it, which can kind of go through the book of Job and the understanding of that just because bad things happen to you doesn't necessarily mean it's God's fault, right? So Pastor Gill started off the sermon this week, and I want everyone's opinion, and phone lines are open, by the way. I'm opening them up now. Lower left-hand corner, 276-200-2105. I want your opinion. That he was talking about how there was this lady, and she was walking down the road, and this guy was filming it on his phone, and it was an icy day, and wherever it would be, Chicago or Minnesota or wherever it was. And this lady slipped and fell, and the man recorded it, and then he posted a video on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook, and basically the video was titled, "Gravity Wins." I think it was what he said. Is that right?
Yeah, gravity wins.
So gravity wins, and kind of mocked the lady, and I'm like, oh man. So I started hanging my head in church. I was like, I'm in deep trouble. Like, he's talking to me, and it always, I think everyone feels that way when he does the sermons. I think everyone might go, oh, he's talking to me, unless they've been there a while. But a lot of the stuff relates to the kids and Olivia, and we feel like he's talking to us sometimes. So, I immediately start shaming myself, like, I do that a lot with people. But I think the difference is that the lady didn't do anything to deserve that ire. Like, I wouldn't post, like, for example, today, I posted a video where she is outside of a lake and ICE is arresting an illegal, and she goes to protest and harass ICE and give them a hard time, and she leaves it out of park, and her vehicle goes right in the lake. And I posted that. And I look at it this way, that she was doing something that I think kind of drew the ire of people. And I think there's a code that people have that the law is important, and God found it important in the Bible. And there's several ways that I can express that to you through different verses talking about the sovereignty and talking about protecting, your home and your village and your neighbor. And we can go into that. But I just think that we also need to like fight a little bit and push back a little bit and point out the things that are deteriorating society. So I'm conflicted, right? Because he's like, you're supposed to be treating your neighbors and treating the people who we don't get along with love and respect and praying for them. And so I'm like, well, there goes my entire business. So I don't know if I can do this. And so then the second phase of it is what happened is that this video went viral.
Apparently several viewers have seen it.
Yeah. So then the gravity wins video, she is a stunt person and she challenges him to an ice off, like who can stay on their feet the longest on an ice thing, whatever. And he accepted, and they made this huge, well, she's a stunt person. And I guess she just owned him and then like threw him in the snow twice and, kind of embarrassed him right back. And, the moral of the story is, well, who is my conflict is, well, isn't that exactly what he did to her? So is there like a rule or a line that, or a threshold that you have to get to, and then it's okay to make fun of people? Because then she just, is it kind of like, it's not karma, because we don't call it karma. What did he call it? Something intervention. It's not divine intervention.
I don't remember.
But he said it's not karma, because karma, we don't believe in karma, but it's, like spiritual intervention or something. And I'm kind of like, so it's okay for me to do it as long as somebody starts it first, right? So is this an eye for an eye type thing? So when people come on my page and troll me, am I allowed to just go right back at them? And then I finally realized that number one is, I think Pastor Gill's not always talking to me, and that's very narcissistic of me and self-centered. So that's number one, which is probably something I should work on. And then the second thing is, I don't think that's what we're talking about. I am not purposely trying to hurt people.
Yeah, if somebody innocent falls on the ice, they didn't do anything to deserve that. It's funny, but they didn't do anything to deserve that. So, but the videos we show, they all kind of deserve it. The ones that we make fun of.
Is it deserve it?
They ask for it. If you go online and post a video of yourself.
Yeah.
You do it and you do something stupid.
Right. Okay, there you go.
Then
there you go.
You deserve anything you get.
Are we justifying this?
Yes.
Okay. And I think on Wednesday we're going to have that talk, because I think Pastor Gill probably before he goes on somebody's podcast, he probably wants to know the person he's going to be going on with, but I think he's probably going to, I'm not trying to psychoanalyze this, but I figured he would probably ask some questions, right? And what's my intent? What do I want to get out of this? And honestly, that's just like, I invite everybody on the podcast who I find interesting, and he is a very interesting man. And I think we have a relationship that is built on mutual respect very quickly, and we kind of got along. Mm-hmm. Did you sneeze?
I coughed.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I'm distracted. I'm all over the place tonight. So there's a lot going on. But the point is, I'm not laughing at her losing her car. I'm laughing at the fact that you went to protest ICE and now you just you contaminated the entire lake. The lake has to be cleaned, gasoline, oil, even the tires. That lake now needs to be chemically treated, which is extremely expensive. Then you got to fish it out. Then insurance, they got it on video what you did. So it's just kind of like, this is a perfect example of Job. Is that lady's probably going, God hates me. Why does God hate me? Why did he let this happen to me? I'm trying to stop these fascist heathens from rounding up people and sending them to Guantanamo Bay and whatever she thinks. And all I'm doing is calling out her hypocrisy. And also the fact that was pretty much a knucklehead move to do. So I have to look at it this way, is when we talked about Job and how Job had everything, he had cattle and he had sheep and he had property and he had a beautiful family and a lot of kids. And then, in the high council in heaven, Satan shows up and challenges God and says, people don't follow you because they love you. People follow you because you give them good things. And, God smites Job, and because he's the perfect man. Am I right? He doesn't sin. He doesn't participate in sin. He is godly. He loves and celebrates Jesus and loves God, and he's devout, and he's a penitent man, and everything, all the good things. So God's put in a position where he has to test Job and to see if Job will profess his love without the godly gifts. And he takes him away. He wipes out the cattle and sets fire to the crops and wipes out his family. And, Job doesn't relent. He tears his clothing and shaves his head, which is Judean, and in the Old Testament of ripping one's clothes is synonymous now with the Jews. And when someone harms them or they want to show pain, and shaves his head, and goes through that. And the one stipulation is, Satan said, or God said to Satan, you can do whatever you want to him, just don't harm him, don't kill him, right? And he gave him that one order. And so he did all the things he could from a materialistic standpoint, financial standpoint, put him in ruin. And then when the heavenly council met again, Satan, Jesus is there, and God is there, and he's talking to Satan, and Satan says, well, of course he didn't turn around and smite you back or start committing sin, because you put limitations on what I could do to him. And if you just gave me carte blanche, so to speak, I know he would turn on you in a New York minute, and all your followers would. And so he gave Satan the power to make those things come true. And he covered him head to toe with boils and, pustulous warts, and that were synonymous with, in that time frame of not doing, being in disfavor with God. And, put the man through as much physical hell and pain as he could, and he would not relent. And even his wife said, you have to admit what you've done wrong to smite God, and you have to stop, and you've got to admit your sin. And he refused and said, I will not, because I haven't committed any sin. Never blamed God. And it was a very interesting introduction to Job, because it kind of sets the tone for, if you're going to get anything out of this chapter, you kind of got to understand you can't blame God for everything good or bad that happens in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a lesson that I would like to say that, well, I should continue to doing what I'm doing because I feel like I've been blessed. But if God is not responsible for the bad things that happen in my life at all times, and not the good things that happen at all times, it puts me in a position that showing that I am blessed with a beautiful family and a good life and all of you and a good show, that may not be God. So I'm a little confused, right? So I'm trying to figure it out. And I don't think it's that everything good that happens to you and everything bad that happens is God's responsibility, or if it isn't taking place, God's responsibility. But I do believe that there is a path that will lead to happiness, but that's not guaranteed for anyone. And it's certainly not guaranteed for your time on earth. So it's an interesting thing, and so I today I looked for it, and I didn't pray on it. I'm just going to let you know I didn't, and I should have, but I think that's what I'll do, because when I had problems with praying internally, and I found my inner voice taking over, I prayed on it, and I got some inner peace, and I think I should ask that question. But I don't want you guys to feel like the entire show is just going to go holy, and it's going to be biblical hour. But this is a journey that Olivia and I are on, and we always bring it into the show. And I figured I would ask you guys what you think. I mean, what's your opinion? Some of you have been purveyors of Christianity for a heck of a lot longer than I, and I'd like to get your opinions.
Yeah.
We got anything out there?
No. We always bring our family and our lives and everything. I think everyone likes to know what's going on, and it makes us unique. It's not many shows out there just basically tell their entire family story and invite people into their home, because essentially that's what we're doing.
Well, and I don't even think we got to the end of the story, right?
No.
So we didn't get to the end of the story. So that was it. We stopped there, and now
stopped halfway through chapter 2.
Yeah, when his wife basically, who's like, I guess the person that people rail against a lot because she said, just admit it and, everything will be fine. And we're going to get to the end of the story, and I don't know what it is, and I don't want to know because I want to hear about it in church on Sunday. I would like to think that ultimately Job comes to his self-realization and acceptance and, proves Satan wrong once again. And realizes that everything that's good or everything that's bad in life is not necessarily God's responsibility. And the line, and I also love hearing the lines in the stories where, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away, right? And like you've heard that your entire life. And then when he said that in church, I'm like, oh, I've heard that before. I love that. I love hearing the etymology of sayings and idioms that are actually inside the Bible that I didn't know. And of course I knew that one was, but there's plenty that I hear and I'm like, oh, I know that. And I know where that comes from. Or there's been a poet or an author who's used something very similar to that. So it's always interesting when I hear that type of stuff. So anyway, if you guys want to call in, answer my question on that and tell me what you think, great. If not, we won't even worry about it. Liv, you sent me some videos.
Yes, I did. Thank you, Sandra Olquist, for the donation. Appreciate it. Way to start us off this evening.
Thank you, Sandra. And
if you would like to donate to the show,
yes,
you can go to thedumbshow.com/donate.
thedumbshow.com/donate. Yes. It's right down there in the lower left underneath the phone number. But yeah, if you have not had a chance, please do. And your funding keeps us afloat. And without you, we wouldn't be able to continue. So thank you. Twitch, the flip side of Job is that God allowed Satan to torture him in order to win an argument that God himself provoked quite a bit. Yeah, it's interesting. And that's one of the things that I was like, wait a second. This sounds like petty jealousy and pride to me. And when someone challenges God's word, is this just like an omnipotent being kind of thing that he can't be wrong and he always has to be right? Or is this more of a prideful thing? And so it's interesting. Arctic Mule on Twitch said that, because when I heard the story, I was like, this sounds very human in nature. And this wasn't Jesus, this was God. Right?
Yes. As far as
now, I understand Jesus is God. Okay, so this is where I get confused. But Jesus' time on earth, he was a man. He was a man. He was the Son of God.
Yes.
And he was a man, and he had all the sin laid upon him for all humanity. He carried. So to me, I want to read that again because it sounded almost like, Mule, I agree with you. It's very strange that God was having a human emotion. And what's interesting is I always hear people say that. And this to me is when people say, well, how can an omnipotent being who's truly a God have human emotions? Isn't that beneath him? But our human emotions come from God.
Because he made us in
his image. So these feelings and emotions that we may find trivial and just a part of hereditary giving are actually gifts from God when he created us. So God has wrath. We've seen it. We've read it. We've seen that maybe God has a little, I don't know about jealousy, but pride.
Anger.
Yeah. So it's right. Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit are the same. Absolutely. But the Holy Trinity now is complete. But at one point when Jesus was on the earth, the Holy Trinity was not. Is that correct? Make sure I understand this. So love is a human emotion, but God is all about love. How is love just a human emotion? Doesn't God love us too? I don't know. If we are all his children, when we hurt, he hurts. Yeah. Huh. It's a good conversation. It's an interesting conversation. Like, you know, and what I can't stand is when you ask questions, when people get upset, right? That's one thing I like about our church is that questions are what I love about Pastor Gill is the first sermon he ever gave. He said, listen, God is not afraid of your questions. We may be, but God isn't. And that's always interesting, that if you just answer the questions through what God has taught us, then those answers should not be scary to any of us. But I think what happens is we're afraid to say anything negative, just like we are about our parties and our political parties, is that we can't question things in the Bible and say, wait a second, I don't understand this, I'm confused. And with the curiosity of a child, right? And I think that's the whole point, is you should come to the Bible as curious as a child. Because I don't think you can have true faith and devotion if you don't have the questions that you have at least answered to satisfy your doubt, right? Live wrong, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think what happens is, you're right. You need to have the curiousness of a child when it comes to the Bible.
But not the intelligence of a child. That's what people say.
Not the intelligence, but people.
Yeah.
But I think what happens is people look at you and you're an adult and go, why are you asking childish questions? Well,
that's not childish.
I don't know. It's like.
See, I think that's wrong. Because no, I don't think you're wrong. I think you're right. And I think that's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's, you know, if somebody is new to religion and new to the Bible, it is going to be like a child, because this is brand new. It's just like a kid going into kindergarten, you know, or a 3-year-old. They ask everything. Everything is a question, and they ask it multiple times.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's how they are, because they're learning and they're trying to understand the world around them. Well, just because you're an adult, if this is your first time reading the Bible, you're going to have that curiosity if you want to learn. Not
my first time, but first time reading it because I'm looking for answers, not because I have to. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Right. Arctic Mule just said it, what I said, like literally at the same time. Exactly.
What is it?
He said there's a difference between just reading and reciting the Bible and understanding it. That's why the Book of Common Prayer was made in Anglican Church, to allow prayer to be understood, not just read. It's exactly what I just said. Like, this is my first time reading it to gain understanding, not because I have to and my mom is there and there's somebody going to wrap my knuckles with a ruler. Mm-hmm. Hi, you're on the phone with the Don't Unfriend Me show. Who are we talking to?
It's Courtney.
Hi, Courtney. What's going on, sister?
So I'm just going to say that when I started getting back into the Bible, I actually joined the youth group.
Oh.
As a leader, because they could explain things to me on childish terms. Does that make sense?
Sure.
But I mean, I'm just referring back to Olivia's statement about having that curiosity, right? They don't think it's
right.
I found that they're less judgmental about questions that you ask them.
Yeah. I understand exactly what that is, but I don't think I need to be spoken to like a child. And I'm not saying you're saying this. I know you're not saying this, but I don't need to hear the word in a childish way in order to conceptualize it as an adult. I need, and that was my problem with church when I was younger, is I didn't like being placated to. And I felt that the church did that and talked to me like I was 2, and I was never 2. I was not 2 when I was 2. I wasn't 6 when I was 6. I kind of started at like 8 years old.
It's kind of like Hayden.
Yeah, I was very advanced for my age. So it turned me off. So what I need is, I don't need my answers justified and dignified. I need my questions to make sense to me so I can go to the next stage. Like, I can't leave this section of Job without knowing if God has human emotions because of his time on earth. And because Jesus was a man, and when the Holy Trinity was reunified, that these emotions therefore became something that was a part of God's DNA and understanding and how he related to us. I mean, that would be my question. Go ahead, Courtney.
No, and that makes perfect sense. But I mean, one of the questions that was always put to me was, do you think God could create a rock that he couldn't lift? But he's also omnipotent, right?
Right.
So could he really?
Well, I guess I mean that's a whole nother, like, we're going into area that I don't have experience in. So this is where I become a student, and I defer to the people around me until I traverse that section of the Bible and gain understanding. I don't know the answer to that question. It was my understanding that God was all omnipotent and powerful, but there seems to be limitations, is what I'm hearing, in the human realm. And I guess that must have something also to do with free will. It has to, because if God can simply just snap his fingers and change things for the better or for worse, no matter what your decision is, that removes culpability and that removes free will. So, it's just a matter that I need to study more, and I know I'll have more. That's the problem, is that the more I study, the more I learn, the more questions I'll have. And some of those I'll do with my hands together, and some of those I'll lean on y'all, and others I'll just have them unanswered, because unfortunately that's just a part of belief, is that sometimes you don't get the answer you need or want, and you won't reveal itself to you until later,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I make prayers, and no matter how it turns out,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always thankful.
Yeah.
Because it may not be what I need, but it's what I got.
Yeah. Amy said that last week when she said, well, Matt, God's going to test you, and he's really going to test you. And I said, I understand that. And I think I'm prepared for that, because she's like, well, it's going to get worse. And I'm like, I don't know if you understand that I'm sure worse could happen. And I don't want to give that any thought. But
right.
I've been through a lot. And we go back to the armchair sufferers and the wheelchair sufferers, and which we talked about a couple weeks ago. And I am an armchair sufferer. No matter how much pain I've been in, or trials and tribulations, I am not a wheelchair sufferer. But there's times I've been a wheelchair sufferer, and I know what that's like. And my time of spiting God, I've been through it, and blaming God. In fact, I've blamed God for just about everything in my life for 40 years, since I was the tender age of 11. I've blamed God.
Really?
For everything. And you're going to have to go back to episode, what is it, Liv?
236, maybe?
You're going to have to go to episode 236, and Courtney, you'll figure it out. Anyone who has become a Dumb Show fan, if you haven't watched episode 236,
I think it's 236.
If it's not 236, it's real simple. It's it talks about me as a young boy and things that happened to me. And
I'm sure one of the viewers watching tonight knows what it is. If you remember, let me know.
The ones it's no longer our most popular video, in fact, but it for 3.5 years it had 2.5 million viewers, and it was our most popular video. Now we've crushed that 100 times over, but it's pretty deep, it's pretty sentimental, and it goes into a lot. So, but that's where I've been for 40 years. So I've been through that phase, and if tomorrow I lose my family, I'm not going to blame God.
No,
I won't. I know what I will and I won't do. And
Right.
I would never come back and accept him if I was going to blame him. Now, would I pray as fervently as I used to? That's I don't know until I'm there. But would I sin and invoke and spite him? I don't think so. I just don't, because I don't see him. There's too many damn things that have happened in my life over the last 10 years that I have so much to be thankful for, and I know it's not just because of me. There's no way I did the things by myself. You're kidding me. I just look at where we're at, and this is all everything. I mean, you just look at the set, look at the brand, look at the interaction. 75 million people last week. That's not just, there's no way that's me. I'm not nearly talented enough for that. And half the things I know how to do, I look at Olivia and I go, I didn't know how to do any of this. I didn't know how to build this. I'm not a carpenter, for God's sakes. But look at the quality of work. Are you kidding me? And I told you how many times I felt my father's presence when I was building this set. And I knew how to do things that I never know. I didn't know anything about. I didn't know anything about. And like every cut, every measurement, every piece of stain, every piece of paint, every nail, every piece of electrical, the lighting, the sound, the TVs, all of it. This is an impossibility. I don't have this knowledge. Where did it come from? So like I've given up and let go of that wheel a long time ago. And probably for the last, 10, 12 months, that I am not in control of everything in my life. And since I've done that, I've been much happier. Liv? Oh, go ahead, Courtney, then Liv.
Oh, okay. See, I came out of my addiction 4.5 years ago. And I didn't remember what put me into a psychotic break and nervous breakdown. I don't remember 17 days of my life.
Okay.
But I was hooked on benzos.
Yes.
Completely. I slept for 10 years. And the first year I figured, you know what? Sobriety is all about being grumpy, right? And after the first year, I realized, you know what? That's not what sobriety is all about. It's about, being happy and grateful and all the rest of it. But then I started looking back into my faith, right? And I never once blamed God for anything. It was just something that happened. But I'll tell you, when I was walking through those halls, the one memory I remember, and it was July 17th, 2021, and I looked up at the light and said, that was a hell of an intervention.
And how did that come about? And did you realize it right away, or were you in the fog where you couldn't? Is this upon reflection you've uncovered this, or during the moment?
No, that was definitely through the moment that I figured that out.
Huh.
But
wow.
I mean, like, that was my first memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember walking up to the desk to try and get discharged from the psych ward.
Yeah.
And I had to sign the date. And that's why I knew it was that date.
Huh. Yeah, drugs screw you up.
What got me there is horrible, horrible shit, which didn't dawn on me until...
You can't cuss, by the way. Sorry, we got to stop. We're all trying to do better. Plus, TikTok will ban us, so that's why I'm trying to. I know. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm not offended. You know my language. I'm just
I know.
Trying to keep us on air. So.
It was horrible, horrible news. Nothing any parent of a child should have to go through.
Yeah. No.
And you can make your own assumptions on that.
Yeah.
And that's what got me sober.
Well, thank God for that, and thank
absolutely.
That's. I mean,
absolutely.
Listen, I feel the same thing, and I went through it, and we'll have to make a long show out of this. Listen, Courtney, we'll have to have a talk, and I'd love to have that long conversation and talk. We'll have conversations about addiction, and we do it often on this show, and Would love to kind of hear your story and have you walk through it with us. So yeah. And I don't care if, if something's popular or not. Sometimes we get into religion and people aren't embracing it. It's really weird is that we've actually gained viewers. So I think there's this revival and people are getting interested, and I think it's an amazing thing. But, it's, everything happens for a reason. I believe that. I think Olivia believes that. And I think
I'm a firm believer in that.
It's a matter of putting a name to it. And spirituality is a tough thing when you're younger. It's certainly more difficult when you're older. So we're trying to figure it out. But thanks for reaching out and talking to us. And we'll have to have that long conversation. But if you can find that episode or ask Liv, and we'll look it up after the show and show it to you.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. No, that sounds great.
Thanks you, Courtney. We appreciate you calling
Thanks,
as
Courtney.
always. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, kid.
Debbie from Rebel had a very good thing that I was like, I've never heard it this way, and it explains a lot. She said, God, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one person. Like I'm a sister, daughter, and mother. 3 roles, 1 person. Makes total sense now when you put it that way. I never thought of it that way. So
yeah, no, it's a great.
It's a very great way.
It's a great way of doing
to
it.
saying something.
Mitch Oldman says, but back then, years ago, if you didn't believe in God, then how could you blame God? Well, because there wasn't a time that I didn't believe in God. Understand, denying God's existence and worshiping are 2 different things. I have never refuted. Well, that's not true. There were times later in life, much later, but belief in God, my stance has always been, I don't know. Oh, good girl. See how she opened that door?
She did it
with her nose.
Very, very kindly, as opposed to Yenny trying to yank the thing off its tracks.
Good girl. So just not knowing if God exists and denying his existence are 2 different things. And denying it, maybe there was a time it was like 20 and 30 when I was in the military, saw some things, maybe. But, until you understand what I went through, I don't think that I can answer that effectively. That episode will help. And maybe, because I've got to do my testimony at some point, and that's going to be a huge part of it. I mean, there's like 3 major events in my life that will be a part of my testimony, and that one is going to take up the most time, more than likely, because that's where a lot of my supposition and derision come from. But that's a whole nother conversation, but it's a really good question. But understand some of that I compartmentalize and didn't process until much later in life. So there was an opportunity to blame God for that. But I always was like, if this happened, how could you let this happen? So very much wasn't an atheist, just agnostic, I guess is the way you could look at, not saying that God doesn't exist, just saying I choose not to participate is more of where I was. And over the last, year and a half, 2 years, I've been aware of the acknowledgement that I feel more and more, succumb isn't the word, but influenced by spirituality, and have been embracing it more in the family and trying to demonstrate modicums of respect, which I have failed horribly. But okay. Now that she knows how to open it, she's just doing it on purpose.
The other door.
Ethan, can you come close this door? So anyway, listen, I didn't want the entire hour to be on God, but you know what? You kind of got to go with the flow, man. And I appreciate the dialogue. I really do. Let's get into the show, and we're going to be on for a while. Thomas Austin donated $51.99, Psalm 136, verse 26. Give thanks to the God of heaven; His love endures forever.
Thanks.
It's beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So we got a lot to do. So we'll stay on. We're going to be busy tonight. So thank you for joining. Nice. We're still on TikTok. We got a strike that it wasn't being distributed for something content.
Unoriginal content or something. And we're like,
I think that's just people trying to, so we just got to mind our P's and Q's and be nice. All right. Alleged Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson's next court appearance will be October 30th at 10 a.m. Mountain. The judge says he plans to make all hearings public That's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Because I would like to see them. Here is the video and just what the judge had to say today after I turn up the volume. Did you have something to say?
I was going to ask, can we turn the fan down for a few minutes, just kind of go back and forth?
Yeah, here it is.
In regards to the next hearing, counsel, on that October 30th date at 10 a.m., it's the court's intent that it be in person if it be the wish of counsel for the defense for Mr. Robinson to be present.
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. In regards to the next hearing, counsel.
So this leads us to believe, and some people are saying that this has the possibility of leading to a state sanctioned ending of his existence on TV. This is going to suck. But you know what? It's going to help me get better. So I think this is fine. But I don't think that that's what that is claiming. I think public hearings are important, and I think this is a national case. I think people want to see it, and I think the judge is making the right decision to make this as transparent as possible.
Yeah, people want to see this.
Yeah, especially all the loons who are like, oh, Erica Kirk had Charlie whacked because TPUSA was stealing funds. Of course, Candace Owens, we're going to talk about her tonight. She says now TPUSA.
Or Erica's a stand-in, that she's fake and she's
a clone.
acting.
She's a clone, yeah. And that the Jews set her up because they met during his trip to Israel. Right, that's what they're saying. Folks, the sad thing is that viewers, well, my viewers tend to not buy into this stuff, and thank you for not doing that. There was a time, oh my gosh, like I used to fight that fight every day.
Yep.
But our viewers are fairly intelligent and good at what they do now. Charity Lamb donated $10. Matt, it's wonderful hearing from the other people who are learning to love and trust God. Yeah, it is. Listen, I'm excited. I really am. I'm very excited. I'm just excited. Yeah. So anyway, listen, but I've always been a defender of Christians. That's the one thing is, I believe God put people on earth not to just always agree. I think he put people here to question other people's faith. And maybe I've done enough of that. Maybe I've done enough to have people question their faith. And now it's my time to be the servant, right? And I would love that. I would love that to be where I could find peace through God and Christianity and become a better person. I'm ready for that. But I guess one of the things is God, use me as you will. And if it means that I have to continue to do things like this and this is my path, then I'll do it. And if it's not, then I'll move on. But it would be nice to get to a place where, have a little bit of peace, because those voices, they're a pain in the butt. Speaking of voices, Benny Johnson. Every time Benny Johnson does something, it just frustrates me a little bit, and I know he's a good person and I know he's trying, but the New York Post put this out, and he was at the Oregon and Penn State game, and we had our neighbors who were over there too. And Benny's just like, hey, look at the seats. There's a whiteout for Charlie Kirk. And I don't know if Charlie would appreciate this, because although shirts were given out, it wasn't a whiteout for Charlie Kirk. This game is scheduled to be a whiteout and is always a whiteout. And it was going to happen either way. And yes, there were some people who had the Freedom shirt on because they handed it out for free and gave it out. But I think it's disingenuous. And it's not to say that it's not a wonderful thought, but you're also misrepresenting those people and what they're doing. And I think that's unfair. And I don't know if Charlie would appreciate that, because Charlie had his testament and it was a stadium full of 100,000 people, and millions upon millions of people watched it. And that was a celebration that was real and genuine and incredible. And to try to replicate that again, when it wasn't that, I think that's kind of the things that frustrate me sometimes with Benny, is that these fake things discredit him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Colorado Buffaloes have a whiteout game. Most college teams have whiteout games. I've been to whiteout games. The Avalanche have whiteout during the playoffs, you know? So it's not that it's not beautiful, but it wasn't designed for Charlie to have everyone wear white. That wasn't what was designed. And instead of just saying, hey, we're having a beautiful game, we're together, we're watching football, and we gave out 1,000 or 10,000 of these shirts, and, you know, Charlie's here with us, that's something I want to hear. And I also didn't like where he stood in front of Scott Pressler the entire time. And Scott is the one out there busting his butt to get Republicans to win Pennsylvania, and literally is just standing in front of him the whole time, blocking him. It's not me saying, oh, gee, I wish Benny was a better person. I just wish that he would use his pulpit more effectively. And I'm sure there's people who feel the same about me. Is Matt, you could use it much more effectively. So I'm open to that criticism. But I think handing it over and saying, listen, this game is important and we want Penn State to win and go Nittany Lions. But more importantly, Scott Pressler's here, who does not get enough time. I'm on TV every day. I'm always here. I want you guys to talk to Scott, because Scott is the true person who's moving this and carrying this forward. And not only is he going to bring dominance in the election with Republicans, but he brings the faith of Charlie Kirk and all of us together today and hand it over. To me, but I guess that's just my critique. You know what I mean? It's just my critique. And it's not to bash on Benny, because he does a good job. I mean, he got me fired up when I heard him talking. I mean, he's a passionate guy. You don't need to lie. I think if I ever met him, I would just go, dude, put my hand in his hand and say, you are so freaking magnanimous and powerful sometimes. You are incredible. You don't need to lie to keep your viewership. They're here. They are there for you. They're loyal to you. You can tell the truth, dude. You can just tell the truth, and people will appreciate you more. And you may not get as many clicks. That sucks, but you can afford it. I don't know. That's just what do you think? I mean, you got to see it live with me. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean,
was it that big of a deal to you, or am I overreacting?
It wasn't that big of a deal to me. Because I've never watched him anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I watched part of it, but I mean, yeah, saying that it's a whiteout for Charlie, I think is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, because maybe some of the people that were wearing white are Penn State fans, but maybe they were not Charlie
right,
supporters.
and you're speaking for him. So, and it seems like probably a lot of people, not that they weren't Charlie Kirk fans, but let's be honest, Charlie Kirk was very prominent and a very big conservative, but everyone didn't know him. Otherwise, the left would have no power saying he was a racist and a homophobe and transphobe, because if people knew him, they would know that's not true. In fact, it was absolutely the opposite of what he was. And that's how you know, is that not everybody knew Charlie Kirk. All right, let's move on. Once again, I don't want it to be a Benny fest. I need to be better at that, but I also need to call him out in a more respectful way. And I think that was respectful. I'll take that. So there is a photo that's been going around. Take a look. This is the person who they're calling the LDS shooter, Latter-day Saints church that was burned down, and this person drove into it with a truck and started shooting people, and then burned it down with people inside, and then died in exchange with police. They are trying to say he's a Trump supporter, and I don't know if he's a Trump supporter. There's evidence going both ways. There's evidence that he had a Trump sign, but it was above a stop sign that made it sound like Trump stop, like this is a Trump stop, or stop Trump, or he just had a Trump sign. It doesn't matter. They went through and they falsified his donations to Democrats. He didn't. The truth is, he's a Marine who dishonored the Corps and dishonored himself and the Brotherhood by committing this atrocity and targeting Mormons in particular because of his hatred for them. That remains to be seen, his political affiliation. And once again, I will say, like I always do with every shooter, but it doesn't matter if they're trans or black or white or green or yellow, somebody's political affiliation on the hierarchy of life and reasons why anyone would do this has very little to do with their political ideology. I don't care what their political ideology is. There's a level of insanity, and then there's not insane. And if you do something like this, you are insane. In the essence that you take human life without remorse, that is a level of evil that demon, not demon. That's all I care about. And your political affiliation, indoctrination, we can go into that. But let me tell you this, going into war and coming back with PTS and traumatic brain injury, that probably has a lot to do with it too. So what I want to do is I want to focus on the lies. And have you seen this picture, sweetie?
I have not.
So all I want you to do is look at this picture, and you see that there is a Trump print on the shirt.
Yeah.
Now, from this distance on a phone, it's Photoshopped. And how do I know? Well, because I happen to be an expert at Photoshop. And I'm going to show you and I together, and the viewers will take a look at this. So you can go and combat this and tell the people who are spreading this that they're wrong and they're liars. And they may inadvertently not know, but it's not hard to tell. Let me show you how you can tell. So what we're first going to do is we're going to expand this, and then we are going to zoom in huge.
It's huge.
Huge. Okay.
Debbie said this is the third picture I've seen with a different pattern.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's fake. So there's a couple things that I can tell you. First of all, if you zoom in here and we go deep into this, you're going to see that these pixels, this is a 1 pixel set right here. This is 1 pixel, 1 square. Okay. So you're talking about a gradient pattern in the pixels that, let me zoom out, that separate. Let's go look at another spot in the picture where pixels separate. Okay. And let me show you the difference. So now you've got some space here. And what you have is this ocean and then part of his shirt and his beard. But if we look at the separation, see the gradient pattern, how it's almost it's almost untenable to see the separation. It's not, because it's a gradient. It's very, very subtle. In fact, it goes over several pictures, and the color transfer, if we zoom out, is seamless, as it should be. Now, if we go back into her and we look at this right into her hair right here, look at this transition. See how abrupt it is?
Mm-hmm.
There's no gradient here. It's absolutely, so this is a cut. Now, how I would do this if I wanted to go ahead and just say, if I was doing this right, and this person is sloppy, is you can see here how the hair just kind of disappears. Well, the easiest thing to do is to get a clone stamp. And I'm working on 2 windows. Bear with me. And if I come in here and I lace this in, you're going to see a very abrupt cut, very similar to what I just showed you. Watch this. So all I did was paint that. And you're going to see how those pixels do this?
Mm-hmm.
So all this person did was come in, and with this is take the white from the shirt. Bear with me here, because I'm doing 15 different things. And come in here with a very small brush and ensure this is a straight cut and this is more of a airbrush style. Now, if he comes in here and turns down the transparency on this to about right there, he can come in and make these additions to the color and watch what happens. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm getting what looks to be separations in her hair to show the shirt. The problem is that this knucklehead missed one spot. Let me show you where that is. And this is what reveals the whole thing. If you take a look, I gotta bump this thing. So if you take a look right here, this is the tell that shows you that it's Photoshop. If you look right here, the shirt raises up and covers her hair where it shouldn't.
Yep.
So if I take that off and we zoom out, so they did not cover this part. And then the last thing I'll show you is that if you come in here and watch this. Remember what we talked about, those abrupt cuts in the pencil? Here it is right here. See that line?
Yep.
That natural line doesn't happen in a photograph. It just doesn't happen like that. Even if you had a fence or if you had a ruler, it's still going to show pixelization. You very, very rarely get these perfectly straight lines, and these will show you that this is an overlay or it's AI.
Also, Trump's hair is the other opposite direction of how it should be.
It's not real. It's fake. That's the point. So if you guys see that, now you know you can combat it. And then if you really don't believe me, here's the original, which took a while to find, but here it is.
Go up to her hair.
Yep. Been a while since we've done one of these, but they're always fun.
I'm wondering if Jimmy Kimmel has said anything about it.
Why would he?
Because he said something about Robinson.
That was a joke. So we take a look. Look at these lines. See, even these. But if you go back to the shirt, you don't see any straight lines. It's just very rare to have pixels like that unless you're dragging. But you can see how they cut it out and then forgot to cut right here. So it's fake. Even here, if you look at these poles, they're perfectly straight. But look at, there's no straight. In photographs, there's no such thing as straight lines. The only time you really get, I mean, occasionally you might see something that's obscure, but the truth is that the only time you truly get it is when you're using paintbrush or something else to mask. But even these pylons, if you go into these, when you zoom in at this level, you're not going to see, you see you got gradient here. This would be about as much as, that's about as close as you're going to get. And it only lasts for, I don't know, 10 or 11 pixels. You're certainly not going to find that pattern in a shirt, but these are straight lines. I mean, this is construction for a bridge. So you're going to get a little bit of it, but you're not going to get it in a t-shirt. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get it in a car. Like right here, you'll probably get a little bit. Yeah, there's barely any. There's none. You don't just get that solid colored line unless there's been a manipulation to the photo. So needless to say, they're faking it. As always, this is what they do. This is what the left does.
Do you expect anything less?
I don't. And that's why I always check these things. So it's just little things you should check, and don't believe anything that you see unless you actually check it. Any comments?
Not that I can see. Well, Debbie said this is the third picture I've seen with a different pattern.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I believe that 120%. Okay, so we've done that. Don Lamont wants to talk about violent white males. Of course. How are we doing on donations? Oh, folks, we haven't done a donation commercial in a while. We do have a lot of people on. We're going to go ahead and run that real quick. How are we doing on TikTok? We still on?
Yeah, as far as I know, we are.
Great. Folks, quick commercial. We'll be right back. And you can donate at thedumbshow.com/donate. We're at $71.99. We want to try to get that goal We'll be right back. Watch this, and then we'll have more show for you. We'll probably be on a little bit later than usual tonight. Not too much. We'll extend it a little bit since it is a Monday. Be right back.
Hi, I'm Olivia Spear, host of The Dumb Show. For 3.5 years, we never asked for donations, but after Facebook demonetized us for speaking the truth, we've had to turn to the one thing big tech can't cancel: you.
I'm Hayden, Matt and Olivia's daughter. This show's never chased sponsors or sold out. We've built something honest, and it's thanks to you.
I'm Ethan, their son. Every share, every dollar, every message, you're the reason we can keep calling out the BS and bringing color back to the world going gray.
If you want to help, we take PayPal, Venmo, or snail mail. You can send it to P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142.
Can't donate? No problem. Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored. You can donate at thedumbshow.com/donate.
You know what happens when you turn the dial harder? You can make a harder grimace. The harder you grimace, the more. Maria, hold on. I'll come back to that. You know what? You guys know the donations. You know, listen, we know the rules of the donations, and we're either going to hit it or we won't. So I shouldn't have to show you that every single time, especially when we're on a roll. Arctic said it's weird that he would have a Trump shirt that was uploaded in 2019. Show me that. Email it to me. Show me that his account had that photo with Trump on it in 2019, because the metadata also does not line up with that. So either someone's faking it out, or because the metadata doesn't align with 2019 on that shirt. So I don't know what you're talking about. So you got to show me. I can't predict what you're saying until I see it. As far as the Trump sign on his front property, that is verified. Like, there was a Trump sign, but it was also wedged into a stop sign. So the problem I have with that is that is almost 10 months old. And those signs were not designed to last that long. So it's a little interesting to me why a guy would have can you turn off that light? Why a guy would have a Trump sign that's been out on his property for 10 months that's sitting inside of it. Does that make sense to anybody? And does that scan for anybody that's going to last? It doesn't matter what political affiliation he had. Doesn't matter. What matters is he's nuts. Not sure if there can be edit shenanigans going on there, but a 2019 post. Show me the post. Thank you.
Did the commercial end really quick?
Yeah, I just was like, I get so sick of playing it sometimes, because people know that we need donations to stay alive. And if they don't know it by now, then my gosh. So I just figured more airtime would be a good thing.
Got it. Okay.
That doesn't have a link to it, dude. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Let me see. That search found nothing. Help me out with this, Liv.
What are you looking for, sweetie?
Well,
it's Threads or whatever. I can't get
Mule
on there.
is saying that this link has the picture, the full picture on it from 2019. I'm trying to find it. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me see it. Brantley's journey. So let's go look at this together. I mean, this is, All right, so we're seeing a 2019 account. Let's look at this. I'm not watching donations, Mom, so if we got any, let me know.
Okay.
So this is a 2019 account. This picture is much clearer. This is good. So we're going to be able to really tell some stuff. So I'll look at that in a second. And this is coming from Brantley's journey. To Brantley, and we're not trying to dox you. And there's no information, private information here. So it was created in September 2015. And this is who? Their child? Is that what you're telling me? If this photo, this may not be him. Have you guys compared the photos? This might not be the guy. I'm telling you right now, hold on. Now this one might be altered too. Hold on now. Now we're cooking with gas. Let's get the real photo in here. Now this is an unaltered photo, and this is coming in at fairly good resolution. Now this is a little more believable. And that looks to be, well, hold on. This looks painted. Let me see the pixels on the shirt. You got to photograph the killer?
Oh. Let me look.
As a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints, I know a service of forgiveness are ways of worshiping God that bring the... Matt, I shared both versions on my page. Do you want me to send you... Nope, I got it. Let's find this. Nope, this one works, Arctic. I got it. So let's break this down here, because this photo is a lot more convincing that is... I still don't like the way this is. All right. Let's do this. Now we're going to have some fun. All right. So 2020 Trump shirt, make liberals cry again, camo shirt. Mm-hmm. Let's see what this says. Saturday's attack. I'm not sure JD Vance agrees with me. Liv, what do you find?
I'm still looking to figure out who it is.
No. Can you look up a picture of him?
Yeah, I gotta figure.
His name is Thomas Sanford. Just put Thomas Sanford picture.
Okay. Because
I want to see if that's his page. If that's the case, then I could be wrong. That photo looked photoshopped. I'm just telling you right now. Oh, here he is. I got him. Hold on a second. Give me that picture. There it is. See if his name is Thomas Sanford, please.
It is. Thomas Jacob Sanford.
But that Facebook page doesn't say Thomas J. Sanford on it. Does it? The Facebook page I was just on?
No. It said something.
Well, it was for... Hold on. That's not the same guy. Okay, let me do this. That doesn't look like the same guy to me. I mean, guys with a beer belly with a beard. Come on, guys. That's not like it's the hardest thing to find. But that does not look like the same guy. This guy looks more Irish or Scottish. And this guy looks Slavic.
Here's another picture right here.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me just get zoomed in here. Let's do this right. I don't think it's the same guy. So it may not be photo. The one that I had is Photoshop. This one doesn't look Photoshop. So something was Photoshopped in there. And I guess we'd have to look. That's not the same guy. Just his beard is extremely curly, more Slavic. See how curly it is?
Mm-hmm.
This guy's very, very straight. The color is completely off. The bags under the eyes, these are ellipsis folds that are horizontal. These are emphatic folds like Asian descent or Middle Eastern descent. See that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the same guy. Eyebrows are not really the same. There's no mole. Look at, see the mole? No mole. Any others distinguishing? Smiles aren't the same. People tend to smile the same. This head looks big, taller. Like the ear is, maybe that's okay. The spacing between the eyebrows is not the same. The nose is not the same. Look at how his nostrils turn down. This guy comes up.
Yep.
This isn't the same guy. So
this is another picture right here.
Now show me.
This guy, right?
Send it to me.
Okay.
Just right click and send it to me. So this guy is in a Trump shirt. Something was altered on this though, because if you look, and honestly, the altering could have been the down conversion of the image, because this would be considered a high res 2+ megapixel image. The one that I had was very bad. So that also can screw up and make it look like things that aren't there. Oh yeah, it's not the same guy. That's not even close to the same guy. I doubt it. Like, I'm severely doubt it. Let's take a look at the kid. That's going to tell us something too. The one on the left, absolutely not. Everything's different in that picture. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The one on the right looks more like him. But no. His ears also are in, but that could be his beard's fuller in this picture. Show me the kid. Let's look at the kid. But we'll go back to the other picture to show you guys that, because I want to see the pixelization in it. That's not the same kid either. So that's not his kid. This isn't his page. This isn't his page. Yeah, his ears are wrong. It's not the same guy. So once again, whether it's Photoshop. Now let's go back on this one more thing. And I want you to look at the difference here, but that's not the same kid. Let's do this. This is interesting. This will tell us something. Watch this. So we're going to take this. We're going to put this right here. And we're going to go boot. And we're going to change the transparency just a little bit. And then we're going to take this. Folks, donations.
I've got one.
We take tips.
Putting one in.
Okay. You read it off for me.
Mm-hmm. It's Mr. Jeff Honeycutt. Been a while since I've done this. $50. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, buddy. All right, so let's look at this. And then we'll bring this down. And there's a perfect match. Okay. So now that we've got a perfect match, let's go see what the picture tells us. Liv?
Yes. I am.
You guys see the difference? So if we turn this up, so see the pixelization?
Uh-huh. Yep.
How it looks fake on the left side now, but then when you turn it off, watch, that's on, it looks fake. Off, it doesn't look as fake, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we look at these lines again that we talked about a second ago, there's the original picture. So there's just a lot of blurriness and would make it look like someone was just fading the picture in. The shirt might be real. Now, here's the problem, is where we all may have been fooled a little bit. Look at that, Liv. So that looks like this one has had it photoshopped out. Maybe. I'm trying to look for.
When was that picture posted?
Can I show you how this works?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Here you go. Boom. Look at that. Abso-frickin-lutely that was taken out. That is not natural. Let me show you how this works. Okay. So see these changes right here?
Uh-huh.
So if we take this and put this over, see that down here? That's not here. See how it's blurred out?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is somebody who removed it, and how we did it is this. Let me show you. Watch. Give me a second. So with this, all you need to do is have a clone stamp. And rasterize the layer. Convert to smart. Rasterize. And then make this a little smaller. I'll show you how you do this. So we need to find a part that we like. And this dark part with this black looks good. And then you're going to line it up in a spot that makes sense. And you can just clone it all day long. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you can clone that out and then blend it however you want to make that pattern cover. So that's all I did. You can see the stress where I just went over.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here. This is really muddled. So because look at the patterns. See how square and erratic, and look how smooth this is. And that's not really recreated anywhere else. So that to me looks, okay, so it looks like, I'm going to backpedal. I'm going to flip my gears. I should have checked first before I showed it to you guys. Because that looks like the original picture was fake. Or the one that we saw is real. It's just not him.
I have a couple of questions.
It doesn't look like him. Well, does somebody have any idea if that's his page? Because I could be wrong on that. Other comments seem to refer to the guy as Jake, so maybe a family member instead. Someone called Tella Sanford seems to be on the page, and a lot seems pro-Trump based on her Facebook, so it could be one of the family members. Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about the victims. That's not. Yeah, that's a nice Hallmark card.
What's his name again?
Hold on. Apologies for the comment spam. Last one here. Honey, I'm trying to do this. This guy is called Tom Sanford. Does this look like the same guy? Okay, let me look. Hold on. I mean, I don't care about proving whether this guy's a Trump supporter or not. The guy's effing crazy. You know what I mean? But
yes.
If people are faking it, that's what I want to know. I mean, why are you faking it? What's the point? If he's a Trump supporter, he's a Trump supporter. If he's not, he's not.
Men who look like you, men who vote like you, and men who sound like you.
Oh, shut up, Don Lemon. Okay. So, what are you showing me, dude? Are you trolling me now? So, I don't know what you're showing me, bro. But I don't know what this picture is supposed to do. I mean, it's funny, but I don't I don't know what that's supposed to do for me.
So my question is, when was that picture posted with the supposed Trump shirt? When was the original posted?
With the Trump shirt, 2019 is what they're saying.
Okay. Because it said Trump 2020 on it, so I was just curious.
2019 is when it was posted.
Okay, now...
But we had Trump 2024 gear in 2022.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I was wondering.
Is Photoshop AI? No, Photoshop is not AI. But I can do things better than some AI things with Photoshop.
Now, here's an interesting thought. The Brantley page could be his kid. I mean, we made Facebook pages for both our kids right after they were born just so we could post their pictures to them, and our parents and family members and friends could like their page and be able to see their life in pictures. That could be.
I need to see a picture with his arm.
Also, I guess on all the pictures and posts, somebody found out there's a guy named Jeff Sanford that's liking all the photos. I know this dude's name is Thomas Sanford, but
what's weird to me is the hairline isn't the same either. The color of the hair isn't the same. The beard isn't the same. The nose is I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Like I don't know enough about this, but I'll tell you what. The original picture looks genuine. The one that they're sharing, I guess, but I don't know if it's the same guy. And James, I understand where you're coming from. Talk about the victims, but you know, there's millions of people in the world, and I don't know this Brantley's journey, what this is. I'm seeing, Mom, some people are lost. Can you explain what we're doing here so I can
We're
keep
talking
doing this?
about the picture. There was a picture that was posted of the alleged shooter from the Mormon church on Sunday. And a lot of people are saying that it's fake because it's got a Trump on it. Because a lot of people are saying that he's a Trump supporter. And then a lot of people are blaming it that he's a Democrat, that he made donations to Democratic candidates, but turned out to be false. So it's just the blame game all around. So we're just taking the pictures to look to see, are they real? Are they not real?
So I'm having a hard time understanding what. Can someone please explain me what this Brantley's journey is? Is this supposed to be his kids?
Apparently his kid was born with what is called CHI, congenital hyperinsulinism or something like that. So that's possibly it. Maybe that's what it is.
Now look at this picture. Looks like the kid that was in the photo.
Yeah.
The other one doesn't.
So maybe that's.
But we don't know if this is him. We don't know if this is his page. See, because this looks like the kid in the beach photo. Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, now that is interesting. Just giving his arm. This was back in when he doesn't have a tattoo on his arm, y'all. Did you guys miss the tattoo? This is the man in the picture, but he doesn't have the tattoo now. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. Oh, yeah, that's him. That's him. That's 100% him. Yep, that's 100% him. This is why we do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we do this. So we can find the truth. The interesting little hair thing on the kid, though. You know? What's up with the ponytail, Liv?
I don't know.
A little weird. There's the tattoo. There it is. Yep, that's him. Okay, so him in that Trump shirt is accurate. I can't find that shirt, but you did link it to me. Here's that tattoo again. And that's the same one. It was a Native American tattoo. And now in this, his hair is all curly. So he must have straightened his beard in that one, and which is easy with a blow dryer and a beaver brush. Yeah, you can see how ratty it is. Yeah, that picture of him does not look like him, but these most assuredly do. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. So I want to see that Trump shirt on this page. And if I see that Trump shirt on this page, then I'm calling full joy. Here it is, Liv. Yeah, that's it. That's him. That has to be him. Unless another kid who is in pictures with him at all times, and then this guy is taking a picture. It makes me wonder who's taking the picture. And could that be a relative or something? I think we're stretching it. I think that's the kid. Liv, do you have any questions on this?
No, I don't.
I mean, are you 100% satisfied?
Yes.
No, James, I'm not. I know you're not disrespecting me, man. I just saying mention the victims means that I'm neglecting the victims, and I'm not. I'm trying to find out disinformation, bud. I'm trying because I want people to stop believing everything they see and then not believing what they see at the same time. You know what I mean? There's a middle ground. And once you confirm it, like we just did, then you've got to say the first image that I saw looked very Photoshopped because of just the pixels. But what it was the resolution. Once we got a good resolution image, it was more convincing. And then we found that this second image which is this one right here, is the one that's actually photoshopped. Because look at his gut. The gut's weird too. See how his gut stops right here, but down here, it's down here is his gut line. You can see it. And here it kind of stops.
Mm-hmm.
So this one looks shopped. So at this point in 2020, based upon what we're seeing, he's wearing a Trump 2020 shirt. And that's all I got. And this most assuredly is his kid, and a cute kid. And that's sad that he doesn't have his father anymore. How could you leave your child? I mean, this guy must have been suffering some serious post-traumatic stress. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I would never leave my kids. You know? I mean, willingly. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't see anything else. It's enough for me. So it looks like that Trump shirt is genuine. Yeah, because that's the same guy right there. 100%. So everyone who's calling Eric Swalwell a liar probably owes Eric Swalwell an apology, which makes me want to throw up.
Yep.
Because Swalwell is just a jack. That just does not look like the same guy. Oh, is it a different one? Nope, same one. That does not look like the same guy. I'm sorry. I am sorry. That, yes. This, no. I guess he's just because he's squinting.
Could be. Could be bright.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Wasn't that fun? What if his kid died? I don't think his kid passed. I think his kid was alive. Is that true, Mom?
I don't know.
Lynn Stockel donated $100. Thank you, Lynn. Folks, we're at $221.99.
Sorry, I lost the email. Sorry, it says starting the night off, and I messed up the email.
It's okay.
Lost it. So,
thank you so much, Lynn. $221.99. We're about $80 short. See, Living Patriot took the post. No, don't take the post down. Just correct it. We make mistakes. People make mistakes, dude. Patriot, nothing to be ashamed of. You went off information that you had. I didn't post anything on it because I wanted to break it down tonight and look at it. And I'm going to challenge it now. I'll put it out there and be like, hey, we got it wrong, people. I mean, but it doesn't matter. Like, it does not matter whether this guy's a psychopath. He's crazy. And just because you're a Trump supporter doesn't mean, please tell me in Agenda 47 where it says that you have to go shoot up churches and stuff. You don't. And nothing's ever going to say that. There's no reason for that. So, who cares that he had a Trump shirt? Like, even with trans shooters, oops. We'll see if I get hit with that. But I'm not sitting here saying that every person who is of that association means that they're going to go and harm people. Now, come on. The military is a hard thing, man. People come back with PTS. Chris Kyle was killed the same way by a brother in arms who had PTS. When you're hurting that bad, you do crazy things. So now we know picture's genuine. So make of that as you will. And I don't know what else to say. Okay.
The thing that gets me is it shouldn't matter what their political affiliation is. Why is that the first thing brought up?
Because people want to blame.
When this happens.
They want to blame. They're
looking for any reason for the right. Looking for any reason to hate them. Because what they're going to do is they'll lump us all in with that one person.
Yeah. But here's the thing. What we try to do, and everybody tries to do, is they said what the motive was, Diane, was that he had a very serious problem with Latter-day Saints and Mormons in particular. And that he had went to a city council guy who he ran into, and he went on this horrible rant, but specifically that he was targeting Latter-day Saints at this church. Why? We don't know. Yeah, just because he liked Trump in 2019 doesn't mean that he was a Trump supporter in 14 and 25. I'm completely with you. But now he has a Trump sign in his front yard, which means that he more than likely was a Trump fan in 2024.
So
hold on. Sorry. The Democrat donations were false. I've already proven those false, and I can do that and show it to you. But they showed him donating to the Democratic Party. That's not true. It's a different guy. What people do is they search for one name and they assume, but it wasn't him. Go ahead.
So I guess the city councilman has come out and had an FBI interview. He said that the talk he had with the alleged shooter is he thinks that the Mormon followers believe they're above Jesus. I guess he had told the councilman that he moved to Utah for a fresh start And while he was there, he started a relationship with a Latter-day Saints woman, but they wanted him to get rid of his tattoos and change a bunch of stuff, and he wouldn't do it. So something tells me something happened with a relationship where he wanted to be a part of it. I do know.
Speculating here.
Yeah, it's speculating. I'm just saying, and I'm just reading what this city councilman said. So it's speculation, but I can tell you, I had a lot of friends of Mormon faith growing up, and in the religion, the men can date outside of the religion. That is allowed to convert the women. Women are not allowed to date outside of the religion. They have to marry within the church. So if that's the case and he wouldn't convert, if she's true to her faith, then she chose faith over him.
Right.
So that could be.
That's a possible motive.
That could be an issue. Also, the fact that if they were asking him to
change and they
change
rejected
everything who he was, take away his tattoos, change who he is as a person.
Right.
I could understand. I mean, I don't understand the fact that he shot up the church. There's no reason to do that. But I could understand why he had some animosity towards the church. You know, if he really loved this woman, but this woman loved her faith more.
Right.
You know, so he could blame.
Well, there's a lot of reasons. You know, his kid, Dave Wagner, your books have been shipped. They should be there any day now, buddy. So this is what we've uncovered. We've uncovered that the Trump photo is correct of him in that shirt in 2019. That's confirmed. We've got a date on the Facebook. That Arctic was outstanding to bring that to us. We looked at it in Photoshop. The first picture that's been circulated on Twitter was way too pixelated, so it looked Photoshopped. Once we got a clearer image, we could see that the patterns were the same, but then that somebody had removed the Trump off of the shirt, so it's actually somebody who is pro-Trump, assuming, or wants to create division, took that off. And then we know that it's confirmed that that's his son, and we also know that the Trump sign that was on his fence is indeed a Trump sign. And so it's safe to assume that this guy supported Trump. And as a Marine who is a war veteran, who's a hunter, and it's more than likely
Second Amendment, I assume.
Who cares? There is nothing in the conservative or liberal doctrine that says if you become a Democrat or you become a Republican that you are to harm people in a mass shooting. There's nothing that says that. So anything that's done is outside. That doesn't have to necessarily do with politics. And if you're going to talk about the she, them, and what happened there, well, that was an attack on Christianity. That's not politics. Those are people who have an ideology that is counterintuitive to what they believe, and they're saying that their ideology is more important. That's more of a religious thing. This may not have been a religious attack. This, what Liv said, this could have been an ex-lover gone bad. And maybe she loved the church and he wanted to punish the church. We don't know. But what we do know is that the picture's not fake. Okay, there it is. And I want to thank Arctic for your help, dude. That was awesome. I mean, good job. I mean, everybody pitched in there. David Wagner, $20. Thanks, brother. $241.99. He had a bad relationship with a woman in LDS that he had removed tattoos and changed for her before they broke up. Had hate for LDS, saying that they were evil. There we go.
Well, there's the issue with the tattoo. If he removed a tattoo,
yeah, I mean that's not cheap, and that hurts. And
painful,
I would never do that. I'd put my tattoo on my butt for you, but that's about it. I wouldn't take one off. Here's Don Lemon, folks. Let's get to this. We're really close to goal. Would love to overdrive tonight. Thank you so much. By the way, you guys may notice, and I will mention this. One of our sponsors is not on the page, and we may not be streaming on Wimkin anymore. And you might be saying, where are we? And you're over on Rumble or Facebook. We want to say thank you for coming on over and watching us when you're over on Wimkin. We're no longer partnered with Wimkin. And not only did we lose a tag from them, but also their sponsorship. So we are, not going to increase our donations, but we're asking you guys if you can help out and you can donate to the show and you like the show, please do. Help us out. We appreciate it. We try to do things like this all the time, which is get down to the story. Even if the story is something you don't want to hear, at least it's the truth, and that's what we want to do. Once again, here is, and Living, Living Patriot. I wouldn't take it down. I would make a secondary post, say, hey, I made a mistake. People appreciate that, and the one mistake I've made in my entire life, I owned up to it, I think. Joking. Here we go. Let's go with Don Lemon and what he thinks. Here it is.
Men who look like you, men who vote like you, and men who sound like you. White men, something is broken. Something is cracked deep inside when so many of you believe the answer to fear, to loss, to change is violence. Are you listening to me?
No.
I hope I'm saying it loud enough for the people in the back.
You heard it here first. Don Lemon wants us to go to the back of the bus. Oh, how times have changed. That was a joke.
I know.
Go ahead.
You know what's funny?
No, tell me.
Is that in that whole thing, because I just don't like him.
Yeah.
I was more focused that he actually has a lemon tree on his head.
Yeah.
That's
Don
I just thought
Lemon.
it was freaking funny. He's got a lemon tree. It looks like a lemon tree, but it's not. Now looking at it, they're just dots on the back. But it sure looks like a lemon tree.
If you guys are wondering, just because you're wondering if Olivia's been smoking the reefer,
It looks like a lemon tree.
It looks like a lemon tree on the back. Very feng shui there, Don. Here's the thing. As somebody's political affiliation has nothing to do with them being a mass shooter, certainly their color doesn't. But if you're going to break down gun violence based on color, Don, you're making a huge mistake. And this is the argument that that really puts him to bed. And there is no doubt that mass casualty events predominantly are white males. But when you consider that Hispanics, Latinos, and white men make 71% of the country, white people make 71% of the country, and men make up 46%, maybe a little bit higher than that, 48%. Women are a little bit higher. That it would make sense that there would be predominantly white males. But you're not going to sit here and tell me that mass shootings, which are 4 or more people are harmed, are not owned by minorities, because they are. And you can sit here and lie all day, and I can show you the photographs of the last 300. And it is a very eclectic group of people. And it is not just white people. Yes, a lot of the mass casualty events have been perpetrated by white people. But you're also leaving out that there's also groups of people who all share something in common other than their color, which is their clinical psychosis. And there also is a very large group of people out of the mass casualty events just in this year that are over 6 when it comes to a specific marginalized group that wants to be in women's sports. And I don't have to go any. I'm definitely watching my TikTok voice here. So this is just division. This is animus. This is him getting clicks. Don Lemon has turned into the Candace Owens of the left. She's just going to make up anything she wants, and so's Don, and he's going to make up any stats with no accountability. And when he left CNN, Don Lemon used to be a decent human being, and you may not know this, and you'd be shocked. But if you listened to him in 2014, you would have sworn to God that Don Lemon was a conservative. Do you guys believe me? Do you want me to show you? Because I'll show you.
I've seen the video.
I know
before.
you have, but they haven't.
Yeah.
I'm talking about them.
Men who look like you, men who vote
Let
like
me know.
you.
You guys want to see it real
sound-
quick? Because I'll tell you what, if you saw him, you would vote for him for office. I think it was 2014. Let me see. Fine. 2013. Oh.
So this is Don Lemon 2013. Okay, I believe in 06, 05.
Everybody knows that guy's voice. Oh, come on. Oh, I hate that when they do that. Those sons of guns. when they pop the ad right when you're ready to click, and they time it. They time it. They know when you're going to do it. Those sons of guns. Well, if you haven't seen it, it's an interesting clip. And go back to 2013 and type in Don Lemon, and you guys would swear that he's a Republican. It's that good. Yeah, he was normal back in the day. There's no doubt about it. All right, moving on, folks. Liv, where are we at with gold?
We are at $241.99, so we are $58 away.
$58 away. Let's get it. JD Vance had a conversation in regards to the spending bill, the continuing resolution. Let's listen to this, and we'll talk about this and what this means for you. And the lockdown. We should have a national holiday, shouldn't we? That just like government lockdown day. And we should have a countdown clock to it like Christmas Eve, and we should have an advent calendar, that just costs American taxpayers money every time we open it. Because this is becoming, like every year it's the same thing, and everyone freaks out. I don't even care. Just shut it down. Here it is.
We just had a very frank conversation with the Senate and House Democratic leadership. Look, the principle at stake here is very simple. We have disagreements about tax policy, but you don't shut that government down. We have disagreements about health care policy, but you don't shut the government down. You don't use your policy disagreements as leverage to not pay our troops, to not have essential services of government actually function. You don't say the fact that you disagree about a particular tax provision is an excuse for shutting down the people's government and all the essential services that come along with it. If you look at what Chuck Schumer has said in the past consistently, it's whatever our disagreements are, let's negotiate with them. Let's talk about them. Let's figure out a bipartisan solution, but you don't shut the government down. In other words, you don't put a gun to the American people's head and say, unless you do exactly what Senate and House Democrats want you to do, we're going to shut down your government. That's exactly what they're proposing out there. Now, we have to remember, they're very frustrated. They say that they're very frustrated about the fact that this negotiation has not taken place until today. But if you look at the original thing they did with this negotiation, it was a $1.5 trillion spending package, basically saying to the American people, we want to give massive amounts of money, hundreds of billions of dollars to illegal aliens for their health care while Americans are struggling to pay their health care bills. That was their initial foray into this negotiation. We thought it was absurd. We told them.
JD Vance is starting to really understand, and he very well might run, because I think Trump is pushing him to the forefront a lot more. And he's been in front of the cameras more, and he's sounding so much more presidential.
He is.
I'm really starting to kind of like the idea. I like his look. I like his attitude. I'm thinking, let's see it another year, and let's hope his coattails are strong. Trump's coattails need to be strong, and if they're strong, I'm all about it. JD Stillwell donated. So grateful for the breakdown of picks. You're welcome, brother. So here's the deal. This happens every year. And I couldn't care less. This is like the WNBA to me. Do you care about the government lockdown?
No. I know it affects some people, but...
It does. It affects, some federal employees. But here's what it comes down to. Democrats aren't going to allow it to happen. A continuing resolution, a clean resolution, is something that they passed 8 or 9 times under Joe Biden without a problem. They've pushed continuing resolutions under Trump. And they are going to bend. I don't think the Republicans are going to have to give them what they want. And if they lock down, it's because everyone goes, well, wait a second. We have a majority in the House and Senate. Liv, you've been on the show long enough. What do they need in order to pass this bill?
Isn't it like 67%, 60%?
60%. Yeah, it's not a constitutional amendment. So 75% would be, but it's 60%. So they need 60% of the votes, and we don't have 60 seats. So this is a completely moot point. They have got to, well, not 60 seats, but in the House, 60%. And we don't have those votes. And we certainly don't have it in the Senate either. So we need to make this happen. And the only way to do that is to play this game with them. And they're going to wait as long as they can. Will we make concessions? Maybe. Second thing is Netanyahu and Donald Trump met today. Netanyahu called the Qatarian premier or president, it would be, I believe, and told him that he was sorry for killing the Qatari servicemen with their strike, and they were aiming for terrorists, and called and apologized because Donald Trump said so. Sounds like Donald Trump is being run by Netanyahu. What do you think, Liv?
Totally.
I mean, gosh,
he's puppet strings.
Just total puppet, as Donald Trump says. that's it. We're done. You're not going into Golan Heights. You're not expanding into Syrian territory. You're sitting down and you're stopping, and we're de-escalating. And right now we're waiting for Hamas. Now, here's the thing. If Hamas comes back and says no, and Hamas is getting everything they want out of this, if they say no, then Trump's going to give Israel the green light, and then there will be no more gloves. It won't even be a fight. They will literally just, they will wrap it all up. And you know what I mean by that. So Hamas needs to take this. The Qatarians are working towards this, or the Qataris, however you want to say it, but the Qataris are working towards this and working with Hamas leadership to get them. They just got it this morning, so we should have an answer, hopefully by the time we wake up, where they're at. And if they accept the peace treaty, I believe Netanyahu will step down the attacks, and hopefully that treaty is not broken. If it's broken again, there's going to be hell to pay. If Hamas breaks it and if Israel breaks it. I think Donald Trump has said in no uncertain terms, you know, Bibi, this is it. If you break this treaty and you embarrass me again, we're done. And I think he cuts off every dollar from Israel. Like, you're not going to burn Trump on the national stage twice. I just don't see it happening. So Bibi is going to have to keep his rockets in his pocket and let Hamas make the move. And if Hamas strikes, Donald Trump has already said he'll allow Bibi to take the gloves off. But if Israel breaks this treaty, that would not be a good move. But the fact that he called the Qatari president and apologized for the strike, and he did it in front of reporters and everybody, that's huge. So all the people that said Donald Trump's owned by Israel, you look like idiots. So what's new? Candace Owens, Liv.
Something tells me Candace told you to say, believe that.
Candace is back. Candace is back.
Yay.
You know,
wait, I need to get my tinfoil hat on before we watch her video.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not a tinfoil hat. It's basically an SS Gestapo hat is what you need, because she is full-fledged like 1938. Frederick Baldwin.
She need to grow a little mustache.
Yeah, that'd be good. Groucho Marx. Is that what you're referring to? James James says POTUS should call a recess on Congress and wait them out. Meanwhile, take care of business without the Democrats. Nah, just don't. Just do what you always do. Let this go to the wire, and they will bend. It's a clean bill. It's the exact same thing we spent last year. We're not increasing it. It's a continuing resolution. These things get passed all the time. Who cares? Who cares? Okay. Candace Owens, enjoy. You know, Candace Owens just gets to make stuff up. I wish I could do that. She just makes it up. Just I'm going to make it up. There was now it's not only first it was the people of Jewish persuasion, careful of TikTok, did it. And then Israel and Bibi Netanyahu did it. Okay. That was the narrative. Well, no, first it was an assassin. It was an expert qualified assassin in black tactical gear, and was, you know, this was a hit done by the left in the New World Order and the deep state. Then it was Bibi and Israel, because Charlie Kirk was repudiating Israel, which he wasn't. He struggled with some of the things Bibi was doing. He didn't like the pressure they put on him as a sponsor, but that's what happens in sponsorships. And it doesn't, just because you put Israel in front of it doesn't make it something nefarious. Everybody does that. Ask Tucker Carlson with Qatar. And then it was this Tyler Robertson was a MK Ultra plant. And he's CIA. They're saying Alex Jones is saying he's CIA, and he's MK Ultra, and he was in the intertransitory central assassination program, youth program from the Alex Jones, dude, cuckoo. So he's saying it's MK Ultra. Then
what is MK Ultra?
It was an experiment a long time ago about basically Manchurian Candidate stuff. Mel Gibson in Conspiracy Theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mind control drugs and to activate people to go out and perform.
Gotcha.
We'll go watch Manchurian Candidate. You'll understand. Okay, so that. Then it was it wasn't the deep state. It wasn't an expert assassin. It was somebody who watched Snake Eyes, the movie, and reapplied it, who was a time traveler, and wrote Snake Eyes to go ahead and line up with the assassination today. And there's a secret message in it from Nicolas Cage movie Snake Eyes. That was presented by some wacko. And then now it was Erica Kirk who did it because she's happy and she smiled on the podcast and she's not showing enough contrition and sadness for Candace. So she did it and had Charlie whacked because of TPUSA and that somebody was embezzling money. Now that's the story. Okay. So I just want to make sure you guys are all caught up on the cures. These people, listen, there is no grift. Ain't no grifting high enough. She just keep on grifting. I mean, she's going to grift this thing until it's dead. It's already dead. So she's just going to grift it until like this thing's been put away. It's toast. It's over. They've got a guy who confessed. They have DNA evidence. All the things they're talking about are ridiculous. But now Charlie Kirk was supposed to do an audit of his company like Doge to find out where all of his money was going. Here it is. Enjoy this. Remember, you guys wanted her as vice president. I remember you saying it, and I laughed.
There arrived a moment when Charlie felt that the money was disappearing. Allegedly, I'll say allegedly here, but I think we have some proof that shows that. And the
whoa. You think? I think we have some. Is this the same proof that you show Brigitte Macron has a penis from France?
Excuses that he was being given for the money disappearing wasn't adding up for Charlie. Said another way, the math wasn't mathing, okay? He felt that, again, according to sources, that the company was burning through cash too quickly. And Charlie set about finding out why and how this was happening. So on September 2nd...
Is this... finding out... guessing about money? Could be. What the heck is she talking about?
Which is, of course, just 1 week before he lost his life. Charlie surprised the company by announcing that he was putting together a Doge department. Yes, a department of government efficiency like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy had set out to do. Trump won. They got behind him, right? They said, hey, there's a lot of pork. We don't know where this money is going. People are just accepting checks. Again, this is the whole purpose of the Department of Doge. You put us in there and we're going to figure out how all of these bureaucrats are just wasting tax dollars. Really kind of a nice way of saying we're going to conduct an audit of the government, right? That's the only way to look at what Doge was. It's an audit and then you cut the fat and you see where the money's actually going. Don't listen to me, by the way, because we can read Charlie in his own words. This was a internal memo that went out, signed off by Charlie on September 2nd.
You're not a part of TPUSA.
I'm going to skip to the relevant portions.
Memo. Someone should not have listened to Tom Cruise about not taking postpartum meds because she sure needs them.
She's listen, I'm not here.
Honestly, if she was a member of the Church of Scientology, it would make a little more sense.
No, listen, I'm not here to rip on people. I just, the woman, she's off her rocker. You notice how she's not talking about Macron anymore? Because she knows. She's toast. And every single one of her lawyers have just told her, and I don't know, I don't talk to any of her lawyers, but I guarantee what they told her is you need to be quiet. You need to stop talking. You're making our job harder.
Yeah.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with making predictions and assumptions. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to say, like, we did it. We just did it with the shirt we went through Photoshop. It looks like, hey, this looks like, let's dig deeper. Let's find out. And we found out together. And that's the way you should do it with everything. And she doesn't care because nobody holds her. I went on her page and I put up a meme up that's Candace Owens and it's a cartoon and says, all right, let's get in there and make it about us. And she's looking in the mirror and people just came after me. Why? She's just asking questions about her friend. She wasn't invited to the funeral. Erica Kirk has not invited her to host on TPUSA. This dog.
Hey, baby.
So that's it. I'm done. I just wanted to show it to you because I'm tired of it. Liv wanted me to show you this video. Liv, what are we going to watch here?
I don't know. I sent you a lot of videos today.
What do you mean? Don't send me videos. We're not going to know what we're going to talk about. Why did you send it to me then?
Well, I don't know which one you're playing.
It's literally the video you sent me right here with this guy on it.
Got it.
A father of a murder victim who was killed by a career criminal lets loose on soft crime Democrats.
Yes.
Should I play this?
Yes.
Are you sure? Do you remember it now?
Well, I sent you a lot of stuff, and I didn't know which
one. You sent me 3
one.
videos, Olivia.
Well,
3. Do you want me? I'm sorry. I apologize, sweetheart. How completely rude of me. Out of the 3 videos that you sent me, do you remember any of the thrice? Perchance, does this one strike a cognitive bell? Are you aware of it? Shall I play it for us, or shall we go to something else? Ah, by your stoic silence, it seems that you want me to move on. Oh, come on with a poo-poo face. Seriously, are you hurt?
I wasn't a poo-poo face.
Do you need
that was your freaking annoying face right there.
You need a safe space. All right, here we go. What are we watching here? Do you remember this? Seriously?
Yes, I do. I remember
Tell
watching
me about
it. I don't know where exactly it is, but a dad basically goes off on whichever, I don't know if it's city council people or whatever, because his daughter was murdered by a career criminal.
Excuse me. Nellie had a great idea. She said, oh my God, Olivia, spank him.
We got to keep it clean for TikTok, right? So
I don't know how clean it is on an 18. I think. All right.
It is an over 18.
It's an over 18 show. Do I have to play the whole thing?
No.
Okay. Folks.
Bang!
Whoa.
Dead.
He's already yelling.
Yep.
$261.99 is where we're at. We got to hit goal. $39 away. We would love a big push. Remember, we had a huge donation, man. $100 came in and then a $50 donation. Almost half of that it has already been taken care of. We would really, those are the nights that we would appreciate if we could just push a little harder. Let's get that goal. Let's make it happen.
How many of y'all have kids? I'm just curious. Here's what I need you to do. When I tell you this story, think about your kids. Think about your child coming home from a night out with their friends, laying down, going to sleep, feeling somebody come in the room and wake them and drag her out of bed, naked, forced on her knees, with her hands over her head, begging for her life, begging for her hero, her father, me, that couldn't be there. She was 5'3". She weighed 115 pounds. Bang! Dead. Gone. Why? Because Alexander Devontae Dickey, who was arrested 39 goddamn times, 25 felonies, was on the street. How about that? How good are we doing for our family? How good are you doing for your kids? He should have been in jail for over 140 years for all the crimes he committed. You know how much time he spent in prison? A little over 600 days in 10 years. He's only 30 years old. He was committing 2.65 crimes a year since he was 15 years old, but nobody could figure out that he couldn't be rehabilitated. Well, you'd have to put him in prison to see if he could be rehabilitated. Isn't that the idea of prison? But no, my daughter wanted to be a teacher. She finally figured it out 2 weeks before she was executed. And I haven't heard a damn word from Byron Gibson in South Carolina. Not one word. 4 months, no communication. His biggest concern was that he was pissed off about my interview and how I made him look on the Fox News channel with Trey Gowdy. How pathetic is that? That we're letting our 22-year-old kid visiting friends. It's all she ever wanted to do was visit friends. And she literally was executed while on her knees. begging for her life. Her name's Logan Federico, not Irina. And you will not forget her. I promise you. You will be sick and tired of my face and my voice until this gets fixed. I will fight until my last breath for my daughter. You need to fight for the rest of our children, the rest of the innocents, and stop protecting the people that keep taking them from us. Please.
Yeah, amen. It is a beautiful testament. I don't even know if I could remotely hold it together. Here is what he's talking about, I believe, when they miss Logan's name and call her Irina, which is obviously Irina Zarutska, who was brutally stabbed by the schizophrenic man on the bus. And here it is.
Long before this hearing, particularly. Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Thank you so much for bringing that. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I am so sorry for you. I'm so sorry for your loss, and my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. Long before this hearing.
So I guess she said, Irina, listen, she's a Democrat.
She doesn't care.
Well, wait a second. She apologized. I mean, don't you remember a couple of months ago when I said one of our viewers that her husband passed away? And I've known that, of course, because I went through that with her, and at least from talking about it and hearing about it and trying to provide as much, consolation and sympathies that I could possibly muster. People make mistakes. Now, did she emphatically apologize? Yeah. But still, if that's my daughter, I'm going to be like, how do you not know her name? So there's two sides of the coin. I get the dad being upset, and I understand people make mistakes, but that is a pretty stupid mistake, right? I mean, Logan and Irina have absolutely nothing, but that's a staffer. She's probably reading it off the paper, and that's where it was. I mean, I can understand it, but the point is, own it. And it looked to me like she owned it. But as a father, I would be livid. What about you?
I would make sure, regardless of if my staffer was writing what I was supposed to say, I would make sure, especially if I am talking to the people that this affected, that I make sure I've got details and names correct before I go out there and talk.
Right. Yeah, that's you know what? Yeah, I can understand. He has every right to be ticked off. I would be too. I do believe she sufficiently apologized, though, like 17 times. But
again, Irina and Logan sound nothing alike. Now, if she would have said like a name that started with an L that was very similar to Logan, yeah, okay, maybe. But Irina and Logan aren't even in the same ballpark. No,
I agree with you. Listen, I agree with you. And at this point, I know that tone in your voice. So I am just going to relent and say that God have mercy on my soul, and I shouldn't have ever have demonstrated anything positive about what she said. It's your video. You believe in it, and more power to you. Here's one for me. Episcopal priest. What is an Episcopalian?
I have no idea.
Don Bradley, $10. Who can match me to help Matt hit goal? Yeah, who can? I don't know, but somebody help because it's $271.99. We got to go. We're already in overtime.
I'm not sure.
Why don't you look that up while we watch this video?
Yeah.
And you can kind of watch out of the side of your eye.
We're Episcopal priests. Of course we get dressed up on Sundays. I'm an Episcopal priest. Of course we'll do your gay wedding.
I'm an Episcopal priest. Of course women can be priests.
I'm an Episcopal priest. Of course I offer free walk-in therapy all day.
We're Episcopal priests. Of course we know your pronouns. We're Episcopal priests. Of course we're super serious. We're Episcopal priests. Of course we wear our collars every day.
I'm an Episcopal priest. Of course we set up fun children's areas in worship. I'm an Episcopal priest. Of course we love incense. We're Episcopal priests. Of course we get dressed up on Sundays.
All right, Liv, help me understand. Now, first of all, I am not here to be a religious snob, because that is one thing I can't stand about religion, is when people are elitist about their faith. But what in the heck is going on there? Can you educate me?
Okay, so it says the Episcopal Church is the American province of the global Anglican Communion, a community of churches.
Anglican?
Anglican. 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 I don't know.
Anglican.
No, because there's no E. The G and the L are next to each other. It's not Anglican.
Anglican?
I think it's Anglican.
Anglican?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Its roots, Church of England, is known for blending ancient Christian traditions with a reasoned approach to faith, accepting both scripture and tradition as sources of truth.
So it's a form of Catholicism?
I think so. Its key aspects include worship using the Book of Common Prayer, an Episcopal form of governance, the optional nature of confession, the ordination of women, and a commitment to the full inclusion of LGBTQ individuals. And it was formed from the Church of England after the American Revolution, adapting its structures for a new nation.
Anglican is correct.
So
refers to the broader tradition that began in England with the Church of England and spread worldwide. Episcopalian emphasizes church governance by bishops, episkopos in Greek. So they're episkopos, which is bishop in Greek, I believe. We should do this bring your new religion every week at the Dumb Show. They're not from the Roman Catholics, but they consider part of the Catholic tradition of Christianity. Yep. Okay, we should ask Amy if she's an Anglican. Well, she's a Catholic. I don't know. I mean, is that offensive what I just said? I mean, do Catholics think these people are a little strange? It sounded like a commercial.
There's a reason why I chose a non-denominational church to go to.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember when I said that? Listen, how many times when we watch Fox News, do you, now that you're on the show, you're really paying attention? Are you like, you said that? You said, no. Are you going to forget again? Because you just said it at the dinner table the other day. No, I'm not telling you to remember a certain thing.
Okay.
How many times have you said that? Oh, well, you said that the other day. Or, oh, you said that the other day. Or, how many times does that happen?
A lot.
Okay. Whew, thank God. Because the last time I did it, you're like, huh?
Well, you asked me to remember a specific, unless you specifically
I did.
say, make notes of this for the show, I'm going to freaking forget it. That's just.
I did. But that's neither here nor there. I forgive you. But do you remember when I said Winsome Earl Sears needs to take the gloves off?
Yes.
And she needs to get energized and start hitting
Uh-huh.
hard?
Yep.
Wow.
I do remember that.
Here you go. This is pure fire.
Let your rage fuel you.
A lot of people are saying it's the Democrats' rhetoric that has led to these attacks.
Charlie Kirk shot and killed while speaking at an event.
A bomb was found under a news van.
A sniper on a nearby rooftop firing indiscriminately at the ICE facility below.
Let your rage fuel you. Let your rage fuel you.
You label someone a fascist or a racist or a Nazi, it makes you free to attack them, and that has been the ideology from the start.
Every time we hear a news story, we let it fuel us.
A Chesterfield County school board member who endorsed Abigail Spanberger said we used to be okay with shooting Nazis.
Turning Point USA made a stop at Virginia Tech in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Protesters gathered outside of the venue.
Let your rage fuel you. Folks, this is not hard, but she is reckless and she is radical. Yeah. That's who she is.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep. That's what is needed right now.
And she did her hair. She put it up in a bun. She's looking a lot more professional and not as relaxed. And she's got it down to 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
And early turnout is strong in Republican districts, which is great news. lady, you need to come on my show. I don't know what you're doing. Every time I post anything about Winsome Earl Sears, its ratio is ridiculous. Like, I posted the update in Virginia about the early voting. That thing got like 80,000 views. Your video today, I don't even know where that's at. But you got to come on the show. People, I have a lot of Virginians here, a ton of Virginians who care about this show and care about you. Yeah, I mean, 3,700 views in an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's not bad. Not great. But imagine if you come on the show. Would love to have her on. I think it would be amazing.
Speaking of government people who are freaking insane.
Yeah.
I did send you the video of this.
What about it?
I
want to play this first.
Okay.
I've already played most of your videos.
Most? You played one.
I played two.
One.
Two.
What's the second one?
Are you going to make me go back? I played the father.
Yes.
And then I played the patience. Oh my God, my allergies. And then there's Colorado Avalanche one I want to show you. Okay. And then I played. Oh, I skipped that. Is that the one you want me to watch?
Yes, that is. Because speaking of government.
See, I thought I did. I'm wrong. See, I'm wrong. I completely.
That is the second time.
I said that I've been. So,
no, you said that I will.
I got married to
wrong.
you. There's 3. What did you call me?
I said you're a dick.
I can't believe you just said that.
Reflects and embraces the community it serves.
Oh man, people are gonna love this.
When I joined the
Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan. Watch this. Listen, Liv. Listen. Watch this.
When I joined the department, Dearborn's Arab American population was nearly 50%. Yet less than 3% of our police. It's now a department that reflects and embraces the community it serves, with 45% of our officers being Arab American. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I'm proud to serve as your chief of police. When I joined the department,
we have white police chiefs pandering, speaking in Arabic to the community. This is what England's doing. And listen to me. Listen to me, folks. I don't care. I don't want anyone who isn't from this country dominating our country. I don't. And I don't care what race, color, or creed. You could bring a bunch of Swedish people over here and I would still say, no, get them out. It's not about color. It's about beliefs, and it's about if you're seeing what's going on in the rest of the world, and it literally is the rest of the world, with the amount of Muslims coming in and literally taking over their country. 2014, Republicans lied to you and told you Sharia law was coming to the United States. From 2008 till 2014, people like Michelle Bachmann, Paul Ryan, Trey Gowdy, Jason Chaffetz told you that there was this massive population that the United States was going to turn into Sharia law, which was a ridiculous notion. And it still is. But I'm telling you, the more these little pockets are built, because this far exudes Chinatown or having a place that is predominantly Hispanic. You're talking about giant conglomerations of Muslim populations that are impacting elections and literally creating their own form of city government inside them. And this is antithetical to who we are. It's antithetical to our country. And I'm not all for it at all. So to have some police chief start speaking Arabic, what in the name of Cthulhu is going on, Liv?
I don't know, but Michigan is
cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, they're right along up there with Candace Owens.
Maybe Candace Owens should move to Dearborn. I've got two
identity that they.
I've got 2 videos for you.
Mel, thank you very much. Donated $31.40. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Mel. We appreciate you very much, and you're always there for us. Thank you, Mel.
Thank you.
This is a woman who is trying to explain. Listen to this. You're gonna love this, and this is gonna go into your politician, crazy politician. This is a woman who is trying to explain to people that men and women should not change in front of each other. And certainly men should not see little girls change, and boys should not see, not in any locker rooms. We understand what I'm saying here. Great. So what she decided to do was go to city council and strip right in front of them. And she stripped down to her bathing suit at 51 years old and said, "This makes you uncomfortable. Why are you allowing people to do it with coming into our bathrooms and coming into our changing room with our children?" Genius. Some people might think this is crazy. I don't. I think it's like when we read the books to them in Virginia and we had them hear the words that were in this books, and then they censored us and told us to stop talking. It's perfect because it shows you their hypocrisy. And their comments were, "You can't read that. There's children listening." And they're like, exactly.
That's the point.
Listen to this.
Depending on a child's transgender identity, that they can pick which bathroom they want. So we have, right now at this school district, we have children self-identifying into different bathrooms. This is allowed. No.
We're going to recess.
I'm going to finish my comments, or you are violating my First Amendment right. I am putting on my
You are
disrupting.
Well-known parents' rights activist in Davis with children in the school district, and she tells me she felt the only way to get the board's attention was to turn to drastic measures by taking off her shirt and then her pants to get her point across.
Yesterday, as I was preparing my comments, I thought, you know what? I'm going to try something different. I just thought I would show the school board what does it feel like to change into your PE clothing. And I had a bathing suit on, so everything was covered as an outfit. How can they expect the girls to feel comfortable doing that? So I just thought I made a really good point.
Do you consider what you did last night disruptive?
I don't think it was disruptive. What was disruptive was them interrupting my 3 minutes of free speech. That didn't stop the orderly flow of the meeting. I didn't prevent the next person from giving their 3 minutes of comment.
And
I'll tell you what, man, she looks pretty damn good for 51, so more power to her. You know what I'm saying?
And
she can come and demonstrate here so we can get a full understanding of what. Okay, go ahead. You didn't let me get my joke out before you groaned.
Well, I knew what was coming. I know you were going to say.
Had a comment, left it alone. I'm growing as a person. See? Go ahead.
And, as far as if they were saying that that's inappropriate, that's the school dress code.
Yeah.
Girls can show up in that, and they can't get dress coded for it. As long as it's covering up your privates, they can wear it.
Yeah,
and
it's showing their own hypocrisy.
It really is. It really, really is. It's because they don't have to do it. And that's what just, it's kind of like the whole, just any of the government officials. It's like, well, what's wrong with public schools? But they send their kids to private school. Or what's wrong with public health care? Because you don't have public health care, Right. It's like they just don't.
Go see Ash. Go get it. Another donation, Lois. Stop. I didn't see it.
Oh.
So I was trying to pronounce it because I didn't see it. The big green one wasn't there. I was looking at the little one in my eyes. I don't have my glasses on. So I was like, it looked like Lobo or something because my eyes are so bad. I need to go get my contacts, baby. How much longer do we have until insurance kicks in?
16 days.
Okay. So we got to go do that. Here is Olivia's video where Schmiegel's mom is on, it looks like. It basically, you know what it looks like? She looks like, who is in Mr. and Miss Angelina Jolie's grandma?
Ooh.
That's what she,
that's
you kill me, Matt, how you ever get pot pie. Listen, okay, let me explain something to you. She pretends, but this is all foreplay. And let's remember, in the end, I can lick my eyebrows. That's all it takes.
Oh my God. Matthew Owens.
Olivia Nicole Spear. Are you ready?
Yes.
This is the one you guilted me over. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Here it is, sweetie.
Precious. I have just one announcement. In various capacities, I have served this community since 2008, and I am ready to pursue other interests. Effective immediately, I am resigning as council member for Ward 3. Thank you, Ward 3, for the opportunity to serve.
pursue other interest.
She mean
That
OnlyFans account?
ran out.
Oh.
So she is from Oklahoma. She's a councilwoman.
Okay.
And she resigned on September 23rd.
Okay.
Over a Facebook exchange.
Oh, what type of Facebook exchange?
In which she told a supporter of Donald Trump, and I'm reading verbatim what she wrote.
No, don't say K word or M word or anything like that. You got to censor yourself a little bit.
Okay, maybe you can help me censor.
I'll just say it. Screw it. If TikTok bans us, we don't care. Go ahead.
Open a vein, put a gun in your mouth, and pull the trigger. That's what she told them. Here's the other thing. That was 3 months ago.
Oh.
And other people covered it up. It wasn't until somebody else found it and made it go viral.
Oh my God. So she's city council.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand the open the vein comment.
Basically.
No. Oh, okay. Oh, that's dark.
So it finishes the job.
And by the way, you don't cross the street. You have to stream, honey.
Okay. So it finishes the job. So if one doesn't.
I get it.
Yeah.
I got enough. We're not teaching people here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The libs of TikTok got a hold of it. And that's what happened.
I love her. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm. So that's what happened. But yeah, 3 months. And all it was somebody came on who had sarcastically commented on the city councilwoman's attendance count at the protest. There was a protest and she got the number wrong. I don't know which way or another, but somebody on the right came up and made a sarcastic comment about it. And yeah, that's the type of people that
sounds like she could come and work here in Virginia. Sounds like she could get along with our school board, huh?
Yeah, it's the fact that it was covered up. That this is the type of people that are in our government, and it is
what a bunch
absolutely ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Yes. So
thanks for sharing with me, honey.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it. Can I tell you how nice it is that you actually brought a topic and you had notes and I didn't have to do anything except react? Do you know how nice that is? You should do more of that. It's very, very good.
I did send you others. We can do those later in the week, though, because they're not pertinent on what. It's not like any big news. They're just.
Hey,
got
a question.
Hey, is the moon made of cheese?
Hey, is the moon made of cheese? Have you ever taken a compliment in your life without setting more demands for more?
No.
Vicky, nice to see you. Thanks for donating. You forgot one of her letters in her name.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry.
It's okay. Maybe you didn't. No, you didn't. You got it. Never mind. I'm blind. I can't see anything. You did a very good job on that segment. You should do more of them. Folks, we're going to end it on this tonight. $353.76. If you haven't had a chance to get your donations in, please. Can't donate. That's fine. Just hit like spam. Doesn't she do well? I know. I've been trying to tell her. I want her to start doing shorts. So, I mean, not wearing them because she's been doing those just fine. But do actual shorts. And I'm really like, you should do this more often. Like find topics and do what you just did because that's great. And honestly, I can just comment on it and ask questions and it works. So do more of that, please. Also back rubs. They work. Foot rubs. Pot pie. Kitchen. We've got this lady. And what is up, Mike? Good to see you, buddy. Matt and Olivia, how is the something issue at your local school board now? Let's talk about that tomorrow. Let's watch this video because this is really important, okay? This is pretty much every conversation with someone on the left that I have on Facebook. Here it is.
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
That's why I need to be here. You need Jesus, ma'am. He can save you. He can give you a new heart. God can give you a new heart so that you love what God loves. No, that's irrational.
No, is this real or is this somebody doing a skit? I don't know.
That's real.
Oh my gosh, they're so
This is their new thing, is when they get it, they did this to Charlie Kirk, they did this to other people, whenever they're interviewed, they are so afraid to have a conversation that they just start screaming incoherently.
Look, did they realize just how completely dumb they look?
No, because
Unintelligent.
honestly, looking stupid is not their concern. Their concern is to shut you down. And
it's when you scream back in their face. See how they like it.
but,
I don't know,
but
man.
I just, you know what I would do is, you win. So yeah, I mean, you're not going to be able to listen. You're not going to be able to get through the frosted purple hair. You're not going to be able to get through those people. And sometimes it's just good to walk away. You know what?
That's when you bring a nice chicken sandwich. And you just start eating it in front of them and watch them freaking melt down.
I was taking some Tylenol and be like,
pop in their mouth.
Play a Tylenol game or whatever.
Goodness.
Yeah, Jim said it right. I'm really baffled at how these women attract other women. There is nothing in that screaming it. Well, I mean, there's a time and a place for screaming, but it's not on the street. Moving on. Folks, thanks for watching the Donut Friend Me Show. Liv, did you have any parting words for everybody?
Thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you for the donation.
Courtney says,
it.
apparently I need to arm myself. Stalkers are checking out our properties. You should arm yourself
Anyway.
Every single day of the week. So just to share one last thing about church is that when we were there, I carry in church. And of course I told the security people and that I do carry, and nobody cared. But do me a favor. If you go to church and you have a concealed carry, or your state allows for open carry or concealed carry. I did do that to a caller the other night who was screaming, and then I screamed right back. So I started talking to him so they listened, and you knew they were listening, because he was probably doing this, wait for me to do it. And I'm like, so dude, I don't understand. And then, and he heard it. It felt good. But anyway, we need to protect ourselves. And I'm doing a video tomorrow that really comes down to 60,000 Christians have been subsequently, I can't say, they've been killed. And we can go back 3,000 years and talk about this, but we're not going to do that. We're going to talk about recent days and what happened at the Annunciation School, what happened just yesterday to Charlie Kirk, that there is a clear and present war against Christians, and it is getting more and more bold. And as the hatred towards Jews continues, you're going to see it happen towards Christians as well, because the true defender of Israel has always been the Christian community, especially in the last 400 or 500 years. And we need to understand is that we will be targeted as well. And I feel, and I said this, that the Charlie Kirk thing was going to reset a new standard of political targeting, but also the Annunciation Church, is that they're no longer hitting schools, because I believe these people truly believe that this is Republicans' faults for what's happening, and they hate what we're doing, and they took it out on schools for a reason, because it would hit us at home. But I think they don't believe that that's having an impact. But what they do know is Christians and conservatives are synonymous with each other, and our most vulnerable targets are at church. And I think the next wave of these isn't going to be schools anymore, because there are Democrats and Republicans and people who are just down the aisle. The targets that they're going to hit are going to be the churches. And I think this is the new norm, and you have to protect yourself. I strongly recommend that if you can, and you're qualified to do so, is go and talk to your pastor and get permission, and everybody carry if you can carry. And I know I am. And that's all I wanted to say. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Who's on the docket for tomorrow, honey?
I think it's just you and Leroy tomorrow.
Then Wednesday,
I think you're going solo.
Going solo on Wednesday. Thursday, Leroy and I. Friday, Olivia will be back.
And possibly Amy if she.
Yep. And then we've got Dan Nunn coming, and then we're going to get some others booked too.
Mm-hmm.
But a little bit of a lull in shows right now, just because it's been crazy with Charlie Kirk. I got to get a hold of Laura Logan and see if she's going to come on, because after Wimkin, I don't know what her opinion is, and I hope it's a yes. love to see her. But if not, then that's fine too. We'll see you guys. Thank you for the donations tonight. Thank you for taking care of us. Go over to thedumbshow.com. New merchandise is available over there, including the shirt that Olivia's wearing, the We Are Charlie shirt. One more night only, proceeds going to TPUSA. We will see you guys mañana. Good night. Love you. God bless.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.